In this video, I'm going to share one important distinction that's going to give you a totally different emotional experience of your whole life. By the way, I'm Michael Ravenwood, and I've become electrified by Tesla coils and throw lightning bolts to help you realize your wildest dreams. Now, the distinction I'm talking about relates to where your emotions are coming from. Many of us are under the impression that feelings come from outside of us. This is revealed when we say things like, "This person said this and it made me feel that way," or "That person said that and it made me feel the other way." But the truth is that in 99% of circumstances, people can't make you feel any way that you don't agree to. And that's because it's actually the interpretation we're giving things in our mind that gives us the feeling that we have. An easy example might be if somebody says something and you kind of feel like they're giving you a dig, and you ask them, instead of assuming, "Hey, when you said that thing, did you mean such and such?" And they might say something like, "Oh no, I didn't mean that at all. I meant this other thing." And suddenly, when you understand the perspective they were coming from when they said it, you totally feel a different way. So it wasn't at all what they said that made you feel that way. It was the meaning that you gave it that gave you the feeling that you had. So if we understand that most of the emotions that we have and most of the feelings that we have actually come from the meaning that we're giving things, it opens up a whole world of possibility. We might get much more curious as to what people mean when they say things and not assume that they mean anything. And you can even go deeper and say that even if they meant to hurt you by saying what they said, it doesn't really mean anything about you. It really means something about them. And in that situation, you might then come to feel empathy or sympathy rather than anger at that person. And if after sharing with that person what your experience was, they just double down and persist, and they do that over and over again, you might just part ways with them, but actually not feeling any anger at all necessarily. And that's all because you've changed your perspective. Now, in the beginning, I referred to a distinction, right? That emotions can come from different places, and one of the places that I've mentioned is the meaning that we ascribe things. Another place that feelings can come from is raw sense data. For example, if you perceive something in your environment that you see as threatening, you're automatically going to feel something we call fear. Whereas if you drink something that's super delicious, or someone touches you in a way that you really like, then you're going to feel something more akin to love. And so we say things like, "I love that beverage," or "I love the way you're touching me right now." Even just looking at a painting that's beautiful to you can inspire a feeling of love. And the last example I mentioned actually has a blend of the two. Because if you ascribe certain meaning to the things in the painting, you might have a certain emotional experience, whereas if you grow and learn and ascribe different meaning later on, you'll have a different emotional experience. So I hope this little exposition of where feelings can come from and the distinction between them has been helpful to you. If it has, or you found anything I said inspiring, hit the link in the bio and connect with me.